श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम्। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनो भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। So, yesterday we saw some interesting discussion on Yoga Sutra. Okay. Now, there we saw the different states of mind. Different states of mind. And among them, the Yoga Sutra Bhashyakara, the Bhashya, not the Yoga Sutra. This is not in Yoga Sutra. It is in the Bhashya of the first Sutra. Okay. There he discusses about Kshiptam, Mudham, Vikshiptam, Ekagram, Niruddham, these 5 states. Okay. There we saw about the first 3 states, Kshiptam, Mudham and Vikshiptam. These are disturbed states. They are not eligible or capable for attaining Samadhi. This was made clear yesterday. In the Vedanta, see the 4th stage, Ekagram, from which the Vedanta starts. A person enters Vedanta when he is qualified for entering the Vedanta. When he is qualified for entering Vedanta? When he attains this state of Ekagra, focus. How does he gain that? By performing the sadhanas, the prescribed duties. That is why Bhagavan was very specific on that. Okay, when you do those duties, you gain that focus. Naturally, that brings you to Vedanta. Naturally, that brings you to Vedanta. When you are brought to Vedanta and you are attracted to Vedanta, okay, this is Vedanta. Okay, let us pass some time. No, you are really interested in Vedanta. That means all your sadhanas have fructified. Sadhanas not of this life. We know that we started sadhana only recently. How can it fructify immediately? These are sadhanas of past life which have fructified, which have taken you to this Vedanta, this beautiful text. So, this 4th state of yoga is the first stage of Vedanta. What is that 4th state? 4th plane, Ekagram. Ekagram. Ekagram means single pointedness, focus. Ekagram tu ekavishika dharavahika vritti samartham sattvodrekeන tamogunakrita tandradi rupa laya abhavat atmakara vritti. So what is ekagram? Ekagram tu, indeed ekagra is ekavishika dharavahika vritti samartham, the capability of the mind to focus on one object. Meaning the capability of the mind to have a thought function, flow of thought function with reference to one object. Dharavahika. Dharavahika means a flow. A flow of a single thought function. Like let us say pot. 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 We have a flow of thought function for 5 seconds. So this 5-second thought function is a dharavahika thought function. With reference to pot, we were not thinking about anything other than pot. So he says, so and how do you gain that? When you gain this ekagra, this focus, satta udrekena tamo gunakrita tantradi laya abhavat. See, because of the overpowering of sattva guna, sattva udrekena, sattva is more. Because of the sattva being more, then the tamoguna and rajoguna, the sattva guna overpowers the tamoguna. Because it is overpowering the tamoguna, it is controlling the tamoguna. What happens? The natural activities of tamoguna, which is tandradi, the laziness, etc., sleep, laziness, etc., laya abhava, that kind of laya does not take place. Laya, tandradi laya is because of the tamoguna. That is why when you don't do these kind of sadhanas and make your mind focused, when you start meditating, what happens naturally? When you close your eyes and you start meditating, naturally you will start hearing this snoring sound. Why? Because people enter into sleep instead of samadhi. Why do they enter into sleep instead of samadhi? Because of the tamoguna. The tamoguna takes possession of them and they enter into sleep, not samadhi. So for this person, because of the sadhana, he has gained the focus. He does not allow his mind to enter the sleep. Therefore, because the tamoguna is overpowered, therefore the tantra etc. does not tantra. There is a difference between tantra and tandra. That is tra, this is dra. Okay, so tantra etc., this laziness etc. does not exist there. Therefore atmakara vritti, the thought function is of the self. One thought function, whatever may be the thought function, one thought function exists, whatever may be the thought function. Because Yoga Sutra says Dharavika, the flow of thought function means it can be Shiva, 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 or Vishnu, 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 or pot, etc. Whichever. But wait. Shiva, 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 okay. Vishnu, 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 okay. What is this pot Bhagavan? Who is this pot Bhagavan? I am not talking about any Bhagavan. Pot is a pot. Object. But why did you bring it in this sequence? Because Yoga Sutrakara very clearly says, Yatha Vimata Dhyanadva, he says, Ishvara Pranidhanadva. Samadhi Labha is the commentary which the Bhashyakara says. Now, through Ishvara Pranidhana, to worship of Ishvara, you can gain the Samadhi. If you are not worshipping Ishvara, if you are worshipping something else, then if it is Sattva Guna associated, then that also may bring you Samadhi. That is what a Sutrakara accepts. But the problem is when we associate ourselves with objects of the world. You said you can meditate on anything, woman, wine, etc. I'm meditating in that. That is the problem. We have habituated our mind to think in such a way that the moment it gets associated with that particular object, instead of thinking about Ishvara, you will think about the good and bad of that object. So you will not gain the focus. That is why Chittam Ekagra Sacha. Okay, you spoke about the Tamoguna Vritti. The Tamoguna Vritti is controlled by the mind. That is fine. But Rajoguna, that is important, right? So he says, Sacha Rajoguna Kruta Chanchalya Rupa Vikshepa Bhavat. The Rajoguna, what does Rajoguna do? Rajoguna is very active. So, Chanchalyata, it is a very turbulent. That turbulence of Rajoguna, that disturbance or turbulence of the Rajoguna is absent because that is also overpowered by Sattva. Therefore, Abhavat Eka Vishya Eva Vrittihi, Eka Vishya Eva Iti Shuddhe Sattve Bhavati. The thought function will be of one object which is the nature of the pure Sattva. When you attain that pure Sattva, the overpowering Sattva, overpowering the Rajoguna and Tamoguna, there will be only one thought function. Chittam Ekagram. That kind of chitta is what is called as Ekagra Chitta, focused mind. Asya Bhumau Samprajna Samadhi. This is the state which we call, in this fourth state, Ekagra, this focus, we call, we gain Samprajnata Samadhi. A Samadhi called Samprajna Samadhi. There were two distinguished Samadhis which were discussed in the beginning. Samprajnatascha. So, in this fourth stage, he gains this Samadhi called Samprajna Samadhi. Not just that. He says, Tatra Jayakara Vrittirapi Bhasate. Why do you call that Samprajna Samadhi? What is the difference between Samprajnata and Asamprajnata? So, he very clearly says, There in the Samprajna Samadhi, the object of meditation too shines. The thought function with respect to the object of meditation also individually exists. Not just the meditator, the meditation, and the object of meditation. Here, the object of meditation, the thought function regarding the object of meditation, meaning they both exist. Therefore, this is not pure existence of self. Tasyapi nirodhe niruddham chittam asamprajna samadhi bhumihi. So even when that is negated, the object of the thought function with respect to the object of meditation is negated, then there exists this state called asamprajna samadhi. He gains this state called asamprajna samadhi, and this is what is called as nirbij samadhi. Taduktam, this is what is said in the Yoga Sutra. This is Sutra. Tasyapi nirodhe sarvavritti nirodhat nirbij samadhi. When that is also controlled, then what happens? When all thought, there is no thought, therefore he gains the nirbij samadhi, seedless samadhi. Bija means seed, nirbija means seedless. He gains the state of seedless samadhi. These are points which we have to understand. The thoughtless state is what is called as seedless state, because thought is the cause for the effect of samsara. So thoughtless state means seedless state. He is not entering into any action. But there are some stupids, there are some idiots who think this seedless state to be something else, and to gain that seedless state you have to eat things which are seedless. I have seen these idiots. That is why I am saying, believe me. So they won't eat tomatoes, your eggplant, etc. No, they won't eat. Potatoes, okay, fine, no seed, okay. Bananas they eat, but the problem is there is seed inside the banana. Who will tell them? It is fine. So this is the problem. They think this: if you eat seedless items, you will not gain. If you eat seed food, the food items with seeds, then you will not gain nirbij samadhi. If you eat that seedless items, then you will be easily gaining this nirbij samadhi. That is their stupidity. So ayameva sarvato viraktasya samadhi phalam api. This is what is the result of samadhi for a person who is completely dispassionate. Sukhamanavekshmanasya yoginah dridabhumihi san sadharmega ityuchate. That kind of state, when the yogi does not even enjoy the fruits of that samadhi, which is the happiness, that is called as dharmamega samadhi. Remember, yesterday I said vicharatmaka, vitarkatmaka, anandatmaka, asmita. There in the vichara, savichara, nirvichara, savitarka, nirvitarka, there are 4 samadhis there. So one gross, then subtle. When he uses the subtle object of meditation, he gains the ananda, that bliss. When he does not enjoy that bliss, he makes it an object and meditates on that. He differentiates himself from that. Then dispassion, because of the dispassion, he differentiates himself from that bliss also. That is the input. He gains asmita samadhi. Yesterday we explained this. So gross object in vichara, that gives the output of subtle. That subtle object is the input for vitarka, which gives you output of a bliss, ananda. That ananda is the input for anandatmika, which gives you output of asmita, existence. Then that existence is the samadhi, final samadhi for yogis. Taduktam, this is what is said. Prasankhyane api akusidasya sarvatha vekakshate dharmega samadhi. Prasankhyane api akusidasya. A person who is not enjoying, kusida enjoying, akusida not enjoying. A person who is not enjoying even the prasankhana, the knowledge, the happiness, the bliss of that state, Then sarvatha viveka kshyatehe, always the viveka kshati shines. Therefore he attains the dharma mega samadhi. This is called as dharma mega samadhi. There the dharma flows like the rain. Megheti ogheti iti dharma mega, like that they will explain. So dharma mega samadhi tata klesha karma nivrittihi, and because of dharma mega samadhi these kleshas are completely destroyed. Some people don't accept this to be a sutra. They say, hey, this is a statement, because see how big it is. It is like a statement. This is probably a statement of bhashya or something which people included in sutra, but this is also a sutra. Beautiful idea is given here. See, when you are not involved with the happiness or bliss which you enjoy, people get attached to the bliss experience, etc., blissful experience, etc. Therefore they will not be able to go beyond that. Any sadhana has this bliss. Bhajanananda, we call them. People who do bhajan, they are enjoying in the bhajan itself. They are stuck there. People who do japa, they are automatically enjoying their japa, they get stuck there. They are means, not the end. You have to understand that. Then you will not be stuck there. Vedanta is the end. Vedanta is also means to the end. You don't have to hold on to Vedanta also once the knowledge is established. Okay? So, but that does not mean you have to throw away Vedanta. Bhagavan Bhashyakara or these acharyas, we don't throw it, because Yavadayur Tribhirvandya, Trayovandya. These three people should be saluted always till the end of your life. Guru, Shastra, God. Guru, Shastra, God. These three should be always respected. That is why, even though we don't need the Vedanta, we hold on to the Vedanta for this sake. Okay? Teshu aneka rupena sanyamanam vedad agnishu iti bahuvachanam. Aneka rupena sanyamanam. The sanyama is done in different forms with respect to every object, any object. Therefore, there are multiple sanyamas possible. Sanyama is a dharana dhyana samadhi with respect to one object of meditation. Then there are multiple objects of meditation, so multiple sanyamas are possible. That is why agnishu, seventh case plural is used. Agnishu, rameshu, like that. Okay, so bahuvachanam. But what does that mean? Where is this? This is in the main shloka. What did he say? Shrotradin indriyan yanye Sanyama Agnishu Juhvati. There, the Sanyama Agnishu, why he said Sanyama Agnishu? Because there are different objects of meditation. Sanyama possible. Therefore, we said Sanyama in Sanyama Agni as a plural. Okay, Bahuvachanam. Teshu Indriyani Juhvati. In that Sanyama Agni, these people, some people, they throw the sense organs. They throw the sense organs as fire oblation material. Dharana dhyana samadhi siddhyatham. Why do they do that? For gaining the dharana dhyana samadhi. Dharana dhyana samadhi. Sarvani indriyani swasva vishayebhya pratyaharanti. What? I didn't get the idea. These people, they throw the sense organs in the Sanyama Agni, the fire of Sanyama, for gaining the dharana dhyana samadhi. What does that mean? How do they throw the sense organ? How do I throw the sense organ? The idea is this. Sarvani indriyani swasva vishayebhya pratyaharanti iti. This is the idea. Ityartha means this is the idea. The idea is they retrieve, pratyaharanti, they retrieve the sense organs from their respective sense objects without making the sense organs involved with the sense objects. They retrieve it from their sense objects. Taruttam, this is what is said. Swa vishay asam prayoge chittarupa anukaraha eva indriyanam pratyahariti. With respect to pratyahara, Patanjali says, what does pratyahara mean? Swasva vishaya asam prayoge. Swasva vishaya, with respect to their respective objects. The eye hears the sound. Can it be? Is it possible? No. The eyes see the form. So the ears hear the sound. So with respect to their own sense objects, whatever the sense organs be, chitta rupa anukaranam, you retrieve it from them, meaning the mind only. The mind is that which is followed. So when that is, the sense organs are merged in the mind, then that is the state called pratyahara. Vishebhya nigrihitani indriyani chitta rupani bhavanti. The mind, which the sense organs which are retrieved from the sense objects, they stay put in the mind. That is why in the Kathopanishad statement also, Bhagavad Gita, with reference to Bhagavad Gita, I said, Indriyebhyah prahyarthaha arthebhyah param manaha, like that. So, with respect to the sense objects, the sense organs are powerful. With respect to the sense organs, the mind is powerful. You merge the sense object in the sense organ, the sense organs in the mind. So that is what is said here. Tatascha. Then what happens? Vishya bhava chittam dharanadikam nirvahati ityartha. Because there is no object of meditation, the mind is happily established in the dharana, etc. Tat anena, with reference in the sutra, in the shloka, Pratyahara dharana dhyana samadhi rupam yoga anga chatushtaya muktam. We have explained 4 states of yoga, 4 limbs of yoga. Pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. The first 4 yesterday we explained. Yama, niyama, asana, pranayama. Okay, so the other 4 states is explained here. They are explained here. Tat evam samadhi avasthayam sarvendriya vritti nirodha yajnatvena uttha. In this, during the state of samadhi, all the sense organs don't function. That is the state. The control of the sense organ in the state of samadhi is what is explained as yajna here. Okay, idani vyuthana avasthayam. See the next line of this shloka. Idani vyuthana avasthayam ragadvesha rahityena vishaya bhogah yah so api aparo yajna ityah. See, during the time of vyuthana means waking up from samadhi. When you wake up from samadhi, when you come out of samadhi, during that period of time, there is no attachment or detachment, there is no like or dislike. Because of that, vishaya bhogah yah. At that point of time, whatever experience of sense objects you are going to enjoy, they aparaha yajna. That is also another yajna. Shabdadin vishayan anye indriyagnishu juhvati. That is the second line. So the sense objects, sounds, etc., they are surrendered in the sense organs, the fire of sense organ. Some people they do. Anye means the others, the yogis. Vyuthita avastha, people, the yogis who have gained the state of vyuthana, who have come out of the samadhi. Shrotradihi aviruddha vishaya grahanam. The sense objects or sense organs, for them, that which is not contradictory to the scriptures, contradictory to the experience, that kind of objects, they enjoy. How? Spruha shunyatvena. Without any attachment. They experience it without any attachment. Anya sadharanam kurvanti. Like the others, they also enjoy, but without any attachment. That is the thing which is said here. Sa eva tesham homah. That is the fire operation they perform. Now, yogis come out of samadhi. Jnanis don't come out of samadhi. Whether you have your eyes open or your eyes closed, it is in a state of samadhi. There is no coming out of samadhi for jnani. Tad evam Patanjala matanusarena nayapurvakam samadhim tato vithanam cha yajnantvayam muktva Brahmavadi matanusarena badapurvakam samadhim karanauchedena vithana shunyam sarvala bhutam yajnantaramaha. Beautiful statement. This is a beautiful statement. Very nice statement. You will enjoy this. Tad evam, in this way, Patanjala mata anusarena, with respect to the teaching of Patanjali, based on the teaching of Patanjali, Laya Purvakam Samadhim. The Samadhi which is of the nature of Laya. Okay, the Samadhi which is of the nature of Laya. Laya normally is merging. Here it is a state of inertness. Laya is a state of inertness. Okay, so that kind of Samadhi is said. We say the Vedanta Samadhi is a Jnana Samadhi. And the Yoga Samadhi is a Laya Samadhi. Based on that, this is said. Because the people who practice yoga, they become hypnotized by the teaching of yoga. They will not be able to see the Vedanta Samadhi to be different from Yoga Samadhi. What is different? When you are dispassionate, completely dispassionate over everything. Sarvatha viveka khyate, your knowledge shines always. That is what is called as Dharmega Samadhi. Under Tada Klesh Karma Nivritti, then one gets rid of all the bondages. Karma is bondage, one gets rid of all the bondage. That is what is said there. It seems to be so, but it is not so. This is the final shloka, sutra of yoga, where he has written only 4 lines. Bhashyakara has written only 4 lines. Whereas with respect to the siddhis, you look into the star, this star, you will gain that siddhi. You look into the sun, you meditate on sun, you will get this siddhi. Sanyama on sun, you will get this siddhi. Sanyama on moon, you will get this siddhi. Sanyama on the pole star, you will get that siddhi, etc. Different types of siddhis he explained, and in detail he is explaining. But when he comes to the main sutra, he just skips it off. Oh, this can be experienced only, it cannot be explained. That is not the idea there. The point is, this Samadhi is a Laya Samadhi. And that is why yoga is negated with one sutra. In Brahma Sutra, when we are saying Sutra, Brahma Sutra. In Brahma Sutra, from the first chapter, second portion, second pada, the condemnation of Sankhya starts. Till the second adhyaya, first pada or something. There, the yoga is tato yoga vipratyuktaha. Yoga is also answered. They are also negated over one sutra. So why only one sutra? Because it is not an important philosophy for us. Why? Laya Purvakam Samadhi. Samadhi is of the state of inertia. It is not a consciousness. It is like deep sleep, a special type of deep sleep, that's all. It's a special deep sleep, that's all. It is different from coma, it is different from deep sleep. It is a special state, that's all. Otherwise, there is no liberation from the samsara. That is why tato vyutthanam, he comes out of that samadhi. Coming out of samadhi is possible only because he is in the state of inertia. He is coming out of inertia. Like, let us see. I use this example. Whenever I speak about this yoga samadhi, laya samadhi, I give this example. There is this master, yogi. He went into meditation. Before he is entering in the meditation samadhi, he is calling his disciple and said, bring me water. And he closes his eyes and goes into samadhi. When he wakes up, it is after 50 years or 100 years. Because of samadhi, he is able to control the breath, and the breathing is very slow. Dirgha sukshmascha. The breathing is dirgha and sukshma. Therefore, he is able to live for long. Anyway. Now, when he opens, the first thought function which arises is the last thought function which was there, which was asking for water. Where is my water? Who are you? I am your disciple's disciple. That is the person who is giving you water. So this, oh, this is a concocted story. You are saying this. That doesn't mean. Have you seen this kind of person? No, but we have seen that kind of story in the tradition. There is a Siddha called Tirumula. Tirumular is his name. Tirumula. Okay, his text is called as Shri Mantra in Sanskrit and Tirumantra in Tamil. They accept, some people they accept there was a original text called Shri Mantra. Some people say no, this is the original text. Tirumantram is itself an original text where he discusses about many things. It's an encyclopedia of life. I'll not say just meditation. It's encyclopedia of life. Some 3,000 sutras. It is said that he closes his eyes every 1 year. When he opens his eye, he will tell this shloka and shut his eye. One shloka per year. Let it not be one shloka per year. Let it be one shloka per month or per fortnight. Even then, he wakes up and tells this shloka and closes his eyes. So the last thought function was to tell the next shloka, and there's a continuity. He is not saying, okay, 152. No, that is not the order. He says 1, 2, 3. There is a order. There is a sequence. After this, there is a connection with the next shloka. We call it Antavi. The final word of the previous shloka is the first word of the next shloka in many places. So there is a continuity here. How could he do that continuity after 1 year of waking up? Because he has only that samadhi, laya samadhi, and with chanam. That is why he can wake up from that state. Yajna dvaya muktam. These two yajnas are said. One based on this state of samadhi, one coming out of samadhi. Brahmavadi matanusarena Badhapurukam samadhi karanochedena vitthanajunyam sarvaphalabhutam yajnatava. This is another beauty here. Brahmavadi mata anusarena. Let us keep that outside. Badhapurukam samadhim. The samadhi which is of the nature of badha. What is badha? Karna uchedena. I said badha. There is two ideas. One is badha, the other is nivritti. Nivritti is a karya nashaha. Only the effect gets dissolved. That is, the cause exists. That is nivritti. Badha means the effect and cause. Along with the cause, the effect gets negated. That is called as badha. Only if the effect gets negated, that is nivritti. Here, badha purvakam. There is badha, therefore there is no cause, ignorance also. Therefore, karana uchchede, because there is no cause, vyuthana shunyam, he does not come out of samadhi. He does not come into this world. Now, the key word is Brahmavadi matanusarena, he said. Why is Brahmavadi matanusarena important? According to the Brahmavadins, we Vedanta, he could have said according to Vedanta. Vedanta anusarena. Simple. Brahmavadi mata anusarena. Why did he say that? See, this is the author. I told you. I'm repeating. I don't have any qualms in repeating this again and again. I see all the great acharyas, all the acharyas of the tradition. My salutations. But still, I have some special consideration for some acharyas. Very few acharyas. Very few gurus in the tradition. So, one among them is Madhusudana Bhagavan. That is why I call him Bhagavan. So, this Acharya, what he says is, he is the author of not just this text, another text called Advaita Siddhi. See, this is an independent text on Bhagavad Gita. Dependent on Bhagavad Gita, but it's an independent commentary on Bhagavad Gita, his own commentary on Bhagavad Gita. But Advaita Siddhi is not an independent text. It is a counter text. The Vishishta, the Dvaitins, Madhva tradition. Okay, there in that tradition there was an guru called Vyasa Tirtha. Vyasa Raja they call Vyasa Tirtha. So this Vyasa Tirtha, he wrote a text based on some text on Vishishtadvaita and some other text, Shata Dushani, etc. Based on text, he took that logic and he applied that and he wrote a text called Nyayamrita. Nyaya Amrita, Nyayamrita. That is the text. That is of the Purvapakshi. People belonging to the tradition of Madhva who are Dvaitins, who say this I, Ishvara, the world, they are all different. Never they are one. This is the tradition. This is the teaching. There he refers to us Vedantins as Mayavadi. Maya vaditum sheelam yasya. Maya means nitya, illusory. No. Lie also. People who have the habit of lying. That is the name he gives us. Mayavadi. But the reality is we are not Mayavadi. We don't establish Maya. You have to remember this. As a Vedanti, you have to remember this. Whenever you go to some place, people normally who have this habit of questioning some question, putting some stupid questions, some interesting stupid questions sometimes, they'll ask, in which Upanishad Maya is said? Remember, this is the secret. Nowhere in Vedanta Maya is established. Nowhere in Vedanta Maya is established. Did you get it? Nowhere in my Vedanta Maya is established. What does that mean? You are teaching Maya. You say everything is illusory. The world is illusory. And now you say the Maya is not established. Is this your stupid idea? No. This is the tradition. Then you say the Maya is not established. Yes, that is true. Maya cannot be and should not be established. If it is established by Shruti or Smriti or even direct perception, Pratyaksha, then you have a problem in hand. The problem is the Maya is established through a Pramana. Something which is established through a Pramana cannot be negated. Remember this. We don't establish Maya. Maya is like this assumption which we do in maths. When we do mathematics, solving a mathematical problem, we say let x equal to. Like that, this Maya is an assumption for solving this problem of samsara. I read this beautiful story in a cartoon magazine. It's a monthly magazine which you get in India. It's called Tinkle. Once I whatever book I lay my hand, I read that. I don't have problem with any kind of book. I read any book. Even now, if I have enough spare time, if I'm traveling, I have time. If I'm somewhere, I have time. If I find a book, I read it. Economics, who cares? Economics means economics. Don't really matter. So now this book I got when I was there somewhere. This kid is reading that book. So there was this book next to my table called Tinkle. I read this story. It is a very interesting story. Then I suddenly thought, this is a Vedanta story. This is a Vedanta story. I started using that story. The story is like this. 3 sons come to a guru after their father's departure. They have a problem. So they come for a solution from the guru. So they go to the guru. They say, Guruji, we have a problem. What is the problem? You always have a problem, you come to Guruji. Guruji, we have a problem. What is the problem? My father died. Is that a problem? No, that is done over. I am not complaining about that. The problem is he left a will. Good. Is that a problem? Give it to me. No, that is not also a problem. The problem is the will itself. In the will, he has said the father owns 17 cattle, 17 cows. Okay. So he said the first one gets half, the second one gets 2/3, and the third one 2/3 of that. Now that is our problem. Okay. How do I cut 17 divided by 2? Very big problem. So Guruji said, no problem. You take one cow from my ashram. You take. I'll give you one cow from my side. How many cows do you have now? 18 cows. Oh, then you don't have to cut your cow. Good. Good. Holy cow. Good. So half of it, first son, you take half of it. 9 cows, you take. Done. Now you are left with 9 cows. Fine. So second son, how many cows do you have to gain? 2/3 of whatever is. Okay, 2/3 of 9 is 6, you take. And third son, how much? 2/3 of whatever is left. Okay, you take your 2 cows, leave the 1 cow with me. So this 1 cow which belongs to Guruji was not really given. It is used for solving a problem. Similarly, this world is used to solve a problem. We don't have to establish saying this is where the problem is, therefore I have to solve from here. That is the stupidest idea. That is why he says, Brahmavadi, we don't establish Maya. We establish Brahman using Maya as a means. Okay? Brahmavadi Mata Anuswara. That is why he says Brahmavadi. We are Brahmavadis, not Mayavadis. Sarvan Indriya Karmani, Prana Karmani Chapare, Atma Sayyamanagnau, Atma Sayyama Yogagnau, Juhvati Jnana Dipite. Sarvani Indriya Karmani, Prana Karmani cha apare. Chapare is cha apare. Atma Sanyama Yogagnau, Juhvati Jnana Dipite. Jnana Dipite is an adjective for Atma Sanyama Yogagnau. Sarvani Indriya Karmani. Karmani actions. Indriya sense organs actions. Sarvani, all the sense organs actions. Cha and Prana Karmani, the actions of all the vital airs, pranas. The actions of all the sense organs and the actions of all the pranas, the others, apare, the others, they say all the sense what kind of yaga they do? All the actions of the sense organs of all the actions of sense organs and all the actions of prana, Juhvati, they do the fire operation. Where? Jnana Dipite Atma Sanyama Yoga. Now, Jnana Dipite, illumined by knowledge, the Atma Sanyama Yoga. The Atma Sanyama Yoga means the yoga where one is established the knowledge in the self, in that which is accepted as fire, in that fire which is illumined by knowledge, that fire, that self as a fire, he is doing this oblation material, this fire oblation with this fire oblation material, the actions of sense organs and the actions of prana. Dvividaha hi samadhi bhavati, layapurvakaha badapurvascha. There are 2 types of samadhi. One is laya, inertia. The other is badha, negation of the cause X also. Tatra tat ananyattam arambana shabdadibhya iti nyayena. There is this Brahma Sutra, tat ananyattam arambana shabdadibhya. Tad ananyatvam. Tad karna ananyatvam. Arambana Shabdadibhya, because of the Arambana Shabda, the creation, etc., which is explained. The Shruti very clearly says, Atmana Akashat Sambhutaha, Akashat Vayuhu, Vayoragnihi, Agnerapah, Abhyah Prithvi, Prasuvyam Oshadibhyonnam, Annat Purushaha. So, Taittiriya Upanishad very clearly establishes the order of creation. Okay, so there, that ananyatvam, you have to understand all this creation which is said is not different from the cause. That is why he says, Karana Vyatirekena Karyasya Asatvat. We call this a Karana Ananyatva Nyaya. Karana Karya Ananyatva Nyaya. The logic of a cause and effect not different. Meaning the effect does not have any existence other than the cause. Karana Vyatirekena Karyam Nasti. Karana Vyatirekena, different from the cause. Karana Vyatirekena Karyam Nasti. There is no existence of effect. Karyasya Satvat. The Karya effect does not exist. Same in different words. So, other than the cause, there can be nothing called as effect. That is why we call that illusory. Okay. So, how so? We will explain. Panchikrata Panchamahabhuta Karyam Vrashti Rupam. Samashti Rupa Virat Karyatvat Tad Vyatirekena Asti. See the individuals which we see. I, you, all these individual existence. All these are individuals which are product of the processed 5 elements. Panchikrita Panchamahabhuta is processed 5 elements. Tattva Bodha class. Processed 5 elements. So this effect, individual is effect. This individual is an effect of the collective, not the absolute, the collective. Okay, so the collective. Therefore, the individual is not different from the collective creation, Virat, etc. Tatha, again, even the collective is not only the cause, it is also an effect. Like, let us see. Mrittiketyeva Satyam, only the clay is the truth, they say. The cause is the truth, that is the idea. We have cloth. Let us take a cloth. The cloth is a effect. What is the cause for this cloth? Thread. Only when you intertwine the thread, you get a cloth. So, thread is the cause. But thread is not the final absolute cause. It is also an effect. What is the cause for the thread? Cotton. So, you come to the next stage. Cotton is the cause. But cotton is also an effect of this mix-up of atoms. Atoms are the cause. Atom is also effect of this quark or whatever. So, that is the cause. And that is also because has existence because of the self. So, ultimately, the final cause, it all boils down to the self. So, that is why nothing is different from the self. Like, see, he could have explained it in a different way based on Taittiriya Upanishad. In Taittiriya Upanishad, Atmana Akashat Sambhutaha, Akashat Vayuhu, Vayoragnihi, Agnerapah. This is the order he says. So, the earth, the element earth is merged into its cause. Water. And the water is merged into its cause, which is a fire. The fire is merged into its cause, air, and air is merged into its cause, space, and space is merged into its cause, unprocessed 5 elements, and that is merged in the cause, ignorance, and ignorance is merged in the cause, self. Final. This simple way he could have done, but for us to gain a clarity, he is bringing all the terminologies. He says Apanchikrita Panchamahabhuta. Now, then he says, Samashti Rupam by, that is also, that collective self also, collective self in the gross, subtle or causal state, that also, Panchikrita Panchamahabhutatmakam, Karya Karyam Apanchikrita Panchamahabhuta Tad Vidrikinasi. See, that processed 5 elements effect, which is collective self, is also not different from the unprocessed 5 elements. Apanchikrita Panchamahabhuta Karyatvat. That is also an effect of unprocessed 5 elements. Therefore, that is also not different from this cause, unprocessed 5 elements. Tatrapi. Even there, among the unprocessed 5 elements, Prithvi, earth has Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, Akhya, Panchagunaha. Earth has 5 qualities, attributes, qualities. Shabda, sound, Sparsha, touch, Rupa, form, Rasa, taste, then Gandha is a smell. So earth has these 5 qualities. Now that which has 5 qualities is merged in that which has 4 qualities. The water, Karyam, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Guna, Gandha, Gandha, Itara, Chatur, Guna, Apakaryatvad Tad Vidreki Nasti. Chatur Guna Apakaryatvad. Okay. So, other than the Gandha, you have all the other 4 qualities in water. Abhyah Prithvi, that is what is said in Taitriya. Abhyah, Apabhyah, Abhyah. Why it is said Abhyah? Because water, Apa, the water means Apa. Apa is always referred to in Bahuvachana, Nitya Bahuvachananta. It is always only declined in the plural, never in singular and dual. You can say Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha, not Apaha, Apo, Apaha. It is always Apaha. Okay. So that is the idea. Tat Tascha Chaturgunaha Apaha. Now we will see this. He is explaining how it is. It's spoon feeding actually. We will see this. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.